Welcome back viewers, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries and anyone with ears or other sound detection organs. Hope you enjoy. We are continuing with Chaos and Mayhem written by Lord Henry 7878. There is a link to the playlist in the doobly-doo. Chaos and Mayhem, a sexy space babes story part 10. After the bombing at the airport, Rishi and Somazdar had been snapped up immediately by High Command. First, for the what the hell was that, then the trial for gross incompetence. The trial had sucked, of course. There was something about trials, they sucked no matter what position you took in the trial, judges, juries, defendants especially. Whatever. Anyways, Rishi had spent 2 weeks completely unsure as to her fate. There was sufficient evidence for both sides, until today. Today Somazdar's handler testified, and she had some brand new evidence. Rishi wasn't sure what it was Director Karga had stored on the data drive, but when she plugged that sucker into the Omnipad, Inspector Bri and Prosecutor Orphan's eyes had gone wide, and Prosecutor Desatria uttered a quick goddesses. Then the three disappeared to deliberate. Rishi mouthed a quick what the fuck at Somazdar. Somazdar, on the other hand, shrugged and mouthed back a resigned I don't know. She looked at her handler. You'll see, Director Karga said quickly. So now Rishi and Somazdar waited, dreading the moment the three ladies walked back in the door. Captain Rishi Orphan called. The old male looked nervous. Seems you've had a stroke of luck. In light of new evidence, this court finds the two of you not guilty. He continued on. Agent Somazdar, you are to be transferred to Kansas City. You have a month to get your affairs here in order before you're expected there. Soon the court was done with and Rishi followed Somazdar out. Agent Somazdar. The two ladies turned, and lo and behold, it was Karga. She passed Somazdar an Omnipad and the data drive. Password is Re-Pups. And with that, Karga was gone. Once they got in the transport, Rishi loaded up the drive. Once in, she entered the password. Well. It was a list of the Baroness's business dealings. They looked pretty benign: invoices for medical equipment, fuel bills, so on and so forth. What interested Rishi was the fact that a bunch of these went to a hospital up in Baltimore for something codenamed Purity Control. Something that Stamacios's militia had orders to erase all records of, by any means necessary, like bombing a server at the airport. You thinking what I'm thinking, Agent Ilicitia? Agent Somazdar looked over at Rishi as the pilot started the transport. I have a month. Let's do this. Somazdar, aren't you disobeying some sort of order doing this? Rishi was genuinely surprised at herself. Was she becoming friends with the interior agent? She supposed they had gone through a lot together. Captain Rishi, I consider myself a lot like you in many respects. The main one is rather than just being some interior bitch, I joined in order to do good. Whatever that may mean. And something is very wrong here. Rishi supposed that was true. Though she supposed doing and accumulating favors for and from nobles could help. The ride from Annapolis to Baltimore, especially by the tiny transport crafts the Shilvati military made extensive use of, was extraordinarily short. Of course, by human standards, it was still a drive, but what did they know? The point was, Rishi and Somazdar landed on the roof of Johns Hopkins in a matter of minutes. Rishi was a little bamboozled. Half the time she still expected a tent where primitive aliens drilled holes in each other's heads to let the demons leave. Instead there was a modern building that could have passed for a Shilvati construct if someone gave it nice clothes. They made for the landing pad on the roof. Rishi could see a couple guards in the booth by the pad. Rishi went to go get badged in. Hello, welcome to the Johns Hopkins Interspecies Medicine Center, how can I help you? Like security guards everywhere, this one was bored out of her skull. Rishi didn't really know what to say. Purity control. Right. If you'll look into the camera. Rishi stared into the camera as it went click and took her badge from the slot. She clipped it on her uniform. Freight elevator on the left. Rishi opened the doors and shoved aside the big metal cage. Once that ordeal was done with, she waited for Somasdar to do the same. She held the elevator door as Somasdar made her way in. Basement, the interior agent said. They are keeping purity control down there. What do you think it is? Rishi looked around the dull metal box she now found herself in. The way it's all secret. And with a name like Purity Control, it can't be good at all. Millimeter, I agree. Change of subject. How are you making out after the events at the airport? Oh God. Honestly? I'm at my fucking wit's end. This whole damn planet. Everything that's happened, not just the airport. I've had to go to therapy, Somasdar said matter of fact. That struck Captain Rishi like a slap to the face. What, you didn't just get PTSD therapy? Somasdar shook her head. PTSD negation therapy only deals with surface symptoms, hallucinations, nightmares, whatever. To borrow a human term, there's still a general malaise left behind. I've been working through it. To be honest, Rishi had never thought about it. Luckily, she was spared an awkward silence when the elevator pinged to a stop. You ready? She sighed. Agent Elysicia Somasdar took a moment to compose herself. Ready. The two stepped out. And were immediately addressed by someone wearing a hazmat suit. No hood, though. That, she held under her arm. Can I help you? Rishi opened her mouth, but Somasdar jumped right to it. Agents Risha Greaves and Alcia Demens of the Empress's Health and Safety Inspection. We're here to ensure that all research, ethical or otherwise, is held up to the official health and safety standards set by the Shilvati Imperium. Specifically, we need to look at the project known as Purity Control. Well, Rishi was impressed. Though. Rishi wanted to say doctor. The doctor? Not so much. How the hell did you find out about that? Rishi threw in a little sigh for good measure. Do you want to be the reason Purity Control gets shut down? Fine, fine, goddesses, just shut up. Come with me. Rishi and Somasdar followed the doctor through the darkened halls. Other doctors would snake in and out of rooms pushing gurneys or carts of equipment. Rishi tried to see what was under the sheets on the gurney but couldn't get a good view. Purity Control, the doctor explained, is our own little attempt to contribute to the occupation of this world. We believe that the key to a happy and complacent populace is health. Rishi and Somasdar looked at each other. It all sounded so nice. There had to be a but. So with the kind support of the Stamacios family, we have a blank check for whatever resources we need to perform. They what's left, of course, she chuckled darkly. They ensure we have a fresh supply of bodies too. Rishi peered through the blinds on a window. Inside she could see hazmat-suited surgeons operating on someone. And where, perchance, do you get these bodies? Oh shit, a trade secret, but rest assured most of these are convicted criminals. Captain Rishi could feel the blood draining from her face. She had heard rumours of prison transports that had vanished, or shown up to their destinations with nobody aboard. She had dismissed them as just that, rumours. Or, if they had happened, it was the work of insurgents. She inspected another room. She couldn't tell what was going on, not, at least, beyond technicians putting cases marked with the human biohazard symbol on ice. I see, Somasdar looked pale, and Rishi suspected she didn't look better herself. Look, I know it's a nasty business, but it's not like we're taking apart Shilvati here, is it? Grim as it was, Rishi understood how, legally, this could have happened. Since the humans weren't legally citizens of the Imperium yet, they weren't beholden to the rights and responsibilities afforded to the subjects of the Empress. In practice, though, no amount of bribes would have allowed this to happen. It had to have been done in secret. The tour, if it could be called that, was thankfully finished quickly, but Rishi had seen enough. This was the kind of thing that worked its ways into the nightmares of primitives everywhere. Seriously. Back when things were normal-ish, the girls Rishi commanded had started up a human movie night. One of the first ones they had watched was a film called The Men Behind the Sun. It had concerned the research of a group known as Unit 731, and was, from what Rishi understood, completely true. Rishi was getting shades of that now, especially as she secretly recorded the goings-on in the next room. She knew exactly what she had to do. While Rishi watched doctors shoot somebody up with something that made them thrash and foam, Somazdar had her head in a garbage pail, dry heaving. "Agent Somazdar? You feeling? Blararg." Captain Rishi Kosmonos decided that was a sign that Somazdar was not feeling all right. As the interior agent emptied her stomach yet again, Rishi gave her a thump on the back. She heard a third splatter. "Come on, Elysia, get it together. You said you joined the interior to do some good, and now's your chance. Come on." Somazdar looked a little woozy as Rishi stood her up and walked her back up to the roof. They were done here. Soon as they got to the roof, the guard grabbed her pistol. Rishi, however, had had enough. She wrenched the pistol from the girl's hand, producing a satisfying crunch. As the guard nursed her hand, Rishi gave her a swift, foot-up-the-cooch-level kick to the crotch and threw her over the side before getting back on the transport. Goddesses above, Somazdar sighed. Whatever happened to we are the good girls? This isn't supposed to happen. She leaned her head back, pinching the bridge of her nose. All those people in there. It's okay, Elysia. Rishi pulled out her omnipad. We have a way to blow this wide open. She played the footage she recorded. Show this to the right people, boom. No more purity control. You don't get it, do you? A tear rolled down Somazdar's face. You heard the doc. This goes all the way up to the Baroness. She'll just make us disappear and start the project up again. I'd know. I've disappeared people for her before. She sniffled. It's okay, Agent. You forget where we are. This is Earth. Where the humans also disappear people. When we get back to base, I'll take out a bounty on her. The humans will do the work for us. It had been a busy month for Uncle Bill and I, but as June rolled to a close, we'd talked to all of the people on the list. We hit up gangsters, drivers, criminals, smugglers and all manner of other types. We had bikers smuggling drugs out and guns in, the foreman at the chemical plant outside of Eastwich was producing ammo for us, hell, even Miss Perkins at the bookstore in Grimsville was building us up a who's who of the various players. We had weapons and equipment, sabotage jobs, and, most importantly, information being smuggled around town. And we had ourselves a big one on the dark web. Namely, a list of bounties called the Wanted poster. Far from just a list of names, this one was constantly updated, and people could claim the bounties as long as they had evidence. End of chapter. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss any episode and do all the other YouTube stuff, visit and support the author, all the relevant links are in the doobly-doo, and comment your opinions, good or bad. And I'll see you next time. And as usual, have a wonderful day.